this is the last grass cut meetings, right?
Yeah. Well, as far as the ones that don't have pictures.
I think I may have your chair because my feet don't actually touch the floor. I was sitting there
Probably.
swinging my feet there in council. Jason is upstairs.
We got a quorum, hit it.
He wants us to be through by the time he gets there.
That's good.
You think
Call
that's
them all
good?
up at one time. All at one time.
I think we got people speaking for We'd like to call this meeting to order. Call on Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Toles.
Here.
Councilman Williams is absent. Councilman Worthy.
Here.
Back.
Here.
We think Councilman Wilson will be joining us shortly. He's in the building. Councilman Cannon
Here.
and Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present and the meeting is open for business.
We have public hearings, a resolution assessing nuisance abatement against properties for grass cutting. And at this time, our city clerk will give us directions.
Thank you, Madam President. We have been inviting some of the attendees, if they wish to speak about some of the properties, to come forward today. So I think we'll deal with those first, and then we'll give a general call on the remaining ones
Okay.
if anyone comes in the meantime that wanted to speak about those. If you will mark your agenda for item number 2. We're removing item number 2 based on a recommendation from the building department, 1414 Alabama Street. And then on your agenda, 3100 Dodd Road should be already lined through. So we are looking at 32 minus 2, and then we'll proceed with recognizing the people that have requested to speak today. The first one would be item number 24. The address is 919 Holly Street, and Billy Warren is the one who wishes to address us, so please feel free to come forward.
Yes, my name is Billy Warren.
Is the mic on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
My name is Billy Warren. I just really seen what it was addressing about cutting grass. I know I was cutting the grass for a while. Then I had I can't think of his real name. I know Lee Stevens' son was cutting my grass. I was paying him $50 to cut my grass. So I came up and noticed my grass had been cut. Been checking on it, so I really didn't know.
You was assuming that he cut it and the city's been cutting it. When was the last time that you knew that he cut it? You paid him?
I've been paying him.
How often you paid him?
I paid him $50 once a month. He go down there every other week and cut the yard. Trying to get my wife to send me because I didn't know what it was about grass. I was thinking about something else.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get in touch with her so she can send me where she been sending him the check for a grass cut.
The suggestion that I've gotten from the building and from Mr. Harbison is what we'll do is that we'll table this for 7 days. And then what we're gonna do is be in contact so that you and the public works person that cut the grass, they're gonna meet you out there.
Yes, ma'am.
And they're going to, that way it can be determined. Because see, right now, what we're doing with this set of grass cuttings is that we don't have pictures for these. After this list right here, you can't come up, when I say you, I'm just talking about
Yeah, in
a
general.
person can't just come up here and say, they cut the grass, we're gonna have pictures now.
Yes, ma'am.
But right now, we don't, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna table it for 7 days.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you can wait and talk to Mr. Harbison here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and then that way they can schedule maybe a time for you to meet them out there on the property for the grass cutting, but more than likely, it seems like he took your $50 a month and he didn't cut the grass.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna ask, Ms. Warren. Is that what you think happened, is you were paying this guy to cut your grass and he just wasn't cutting it? But every time you came by to check on it, the city had cut it, so you thought he was keeping it up?
He didn't know.
Well, I didn't know, because I know my mother yard was, he was cutting mine and my mother yard.
I got you.
My mother yard was cut, so I figured mine was cut off, so,
Yeah. Well, when you don't check on it, that's easily to slip by.
yes, ma'am.
So if you would just,
Do I need to make a
I'm
motion?
just gonna say we need to make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we table this for 7 days to do some more investigating on how this went down.
Okay.
Second.
Clerk, will you take a vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 7 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 7 days. Alrighty, and the next property is 507 Kyle Street. That's number 25 on the agenda. And Jennifer Greenwood would like to come.
All right.
I have a couple of properties, and the property that we are in question, I had someone from Marietta, Georgia, and I have been to Mr. Harbison's office. He sent me to the lady next to his office to speak with her, and I explained to her, at that time, I didn't bring this with me, I happened to be in town, and I said, oh, let me go by here and address this. So, where they got the correct address on here, and on the paperwork, but they mailed it to some lady in Marietta, Georgia. So what she did was, she dropped me a little note in there, December 17, 2018, saying she thinks, and she said, "Dear Ms. Greenwood, this letter was sent to me by error. Therefore, I am forwarding it to you." And it was 507 Kyle Street with some grass. We have, the properties that we have is, I inherited my mother's, where I grew up here. And if one property end up getting cited, all of them would have gotten cited, because I have a zero turn, and I come every 2 weeks during the grass time and cut the grass from East Gadsden to over here on this side. And Roger Street, 507, would leave one and go to the other, and we have proper equipment. That was the reason why I was surprised when she sent me this, because I know that we keep the grass up. So when I spoke to the young lady next to Mr. Harbison's office, I learned to find out that you all, once you get a notice, you stay in the system or something for a year. And apparently that notice was in the system. So if it came behind, and during that time it was some rain, so it came behind the time for, I guess, me getting there, but I'm almost 100, I say 90% positive that grass was cut, because I said to her, if I was gonna get cited for that one and they in that area, I should have got cited for the other ones, because that grass would have been grown up as well. So, like I said, I had no way of knowing. I had not received anything prior to, and when I got this was Johnny come late, because it was sent to somebody else's address from his office.
Can you give me your correct mailing address?
It's on the paperwork.
Oh, it is?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I was saying. It's on this paperwork, but some kind of way, she said that the machine or some kind of way, she said it puts it in an envelope. But I would not have gotten this, and thank God she sent it to me. I'm glad she was a good Samaritan. And I just ended up
So your
holding.
address is Riverdale, Georgia?
It is, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
And this was sent to 1092 Sugar Spring Drive, Southwest Marietta, Georgia. Thomas F. Waller.
Okay.
You said you had a house on Rogers Street?
Yes, sir.
What's the street address of that one?
801. Yes, sir. And they,
Mr. Harbison, do you want to handle that the same way?
If we want
Okay, I live in Georgia. I made a special trip to Mr. Harbison and tried to handle this. He forwarded me over to the young lady's office, and then because I went to the mayor, and he told me to go to talk to Mr. Harbison. So when these came, not to ignore you all, I wanted to come here myself and explain to you all two things. I'm not a slumlord, and I do try to keep up my property. So that's the reason why I came, and the property is not rented, but I do keep the grass up, even on the backside of the empty lot. Sometime I
How
cut my
far do you
cousin.
live from here?
I live in Riverdale, Georgia.
Could you meet somebody today? You gonna be here overnight?
No, sir.
Mr. Harbison, any way y'all could meet her out there today, anybody? Since this is a situation, she's gotta go back. If you'll just get with them after the meeting, they'll tell you what time they'll meet you today.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate that. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Still table.
You wanna table it?
Yeah, table it for, still table it for 37
Okay,
days.
I recommend we table it for 7 days.
The only reason I wanted to try to get this resolved today for the lady, cause she lived out of town. I didn't
Exactly,
make it a hardship
know
for
her,
to get back and forward
I'm
here.
inclined
you
to
know.
believe what she's saying, cause I've worked with her before, but we'll table it.
Well, we can-
Yeah, I was just trying to help a hardship there, you know, where she would get
Can
it
we
done
have a
today.
second to that motion?
Second?
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 7 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 7 days.
Before we move on, Ms. Greenwood, can you tell us when you said you come and cut the grass, how often did you come and cut the grass?
I come every 2 weeks.
It was every two, okay.
We have too many properties to
Okay.
pay somebody.
Okay.
So we come out.
I was, and the reason why I was asking, because I didn't know, sometime between the rainy season, sometime it rains up, and if they come by there and see grass is up, they're gonna cut it, but that's why I was asking. Okay, all right, thank you.
All righty, the next one is number 26 on the agenda, 2808 Marshall Street, and we have Paul Gelju. I probably was not exactly correct.
Yes. I've heard them all. Just go ahead and, okay, so this property, I own a trailer park out there, and I've worked with Brian, who's been kind enough to give me insights and help, and we've done a lot with it. I had a tenant at 2808, and so I'm not even saying that the grass was cut. I don't know that it was or wasn't. That would have been the least of my troubles with that tenant, and they are no longer there. All the tenants are responsible for their own lawns, and so it would not surprise me if this had not been cut at that date. Evidently, this is back from 2018, but they are no longer there, and so I was just requesting a waiver. We've done a lot on that property, and are still doing a lot on that property, and have had many people who are in the city, including police officers, thank me for what we've been doing with that property. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm not denying it wasn't cut, but that the problem tenant is gone, and so just wanted to put that before the board and request a waiver. And
How long have you owned the trailer park?
let's see, we moved here in 2014, I think, and I think we got it probably around 2015, maybe. Yeah,
And you said that all the tenants maintain their own,
they do. It's in the
Yard?
lease that
Yeah.
they, yes, sir, that they cut their own lawns and keep everything.
Technically, can we charge it?
Yeah.
He owns all the property there. That's why it came up here. He owns the whole trailer park off. It's the trailer park we're talking about off Marshall.
Yeah, I know
Street.
where's that. I used to
That's
answer
where
calls
it is,
there.
yeah.
I
Just-
know exactly where it is.
Basically, when you say waiver, you're asking us to write this off.
I am.
We,
Well, if we did that, then we'd have to back up and write off two more we just did. So, I mean, I understand what I understand what you're saying, I understand what you're asking, I know the tenants are gone, but, I just used the word fair. It would not be fair for us to waiver you.
I think what would be fair, and this, since it's in my district, we give him 12 months, just make payments to Mr. Harbison. How about that? And that way it wouldn't hurt you. If you could just pay whatever it is, the money, and 12 payments to Mr. Harbison, the building department. How about that? Does that
I mean,
sound
I
good?
can, honestly, I mean, I can pay it today if you
Okay,
think
I'll
that
make
it
a
shouldn't be
motion.
waived. I mean, I appreciate
Yeah.
that, but I mean, if it needs to be paid, I'll pay it. I just
Yeah.
wanted to see based
I
on
make a
the.
motion to go ahead and he pays this for it, please.
Can we get a ruling from the legal department first?
For what?
Because he owning it, if it's in their lease, that they have to keep their own property up, and the people was living there at the time.
He owns the property.
He owns the property, he's responsible for it.
He owns the property.
Okay, all right then. Well, I guess I got my ruling.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your voice. So,
I
okay.
mean, we appreciate.
And if you fixed it up down there from the years I was policing, I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
And we appreciate what you're doing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
right.
we need housing in Gadsden, and so thank you for what you're doing. I hope you can understand this is, you know,
Business.
yeah, one size doesn't fit all every time.
It's
So
what it
it's,
is, yeah.
Yeah. You
No,
might
I
consider-
appreciate it.
You might consider making their rent go up and you cut the grass and get your payment that way so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Cause I bet you we'll see you again.
Well, you build
Or he
in
could-
things like fines and stuff for not doing it, but typically you never see that.
Yeah.
They end up, yes.
Or another suggestion where you could go by every couple of weeks and the people that's renting from you, if it's not grass not cut, say, hey, you need to cut your grass or I'm gonna have to pay a fine.
Yeah, that's,
That'd probably get it right there.
The fine's gone up since this fine, right?
Cutting charges now.
Yeah.
Cutting charges have gone up. Yeah.
So
Thank you
it's-
for coming though, we appreciate you
Yeah.
coming
appreciate
and
it.
trying.
Do I, yeah, always worth a try. Do I just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how you pronounce your last name correctly?
Del Judas?
Del Judas.
Yeah, Judas. Did you wanna pay now?
Yeah.
Does it, the revenue place right out there?
No, he'll go upstairs,
Oh,
Third
okay.
floor.
Building department, third floor.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Want to just
Thank you.
leave this in with the others?
He's gonna go pay it now. We'll get this up, took care of.
But I'm talking about a motion on the resolution.
I just made a motion that this goes as and pays it today. And we had a second, so he's already on that.
Okay, so you're saying probably no need for action.
I'll let you know if he paid it.
Okay, so I make a motion we
Okay.
table for 7 days then.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 7 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
I was gonna
motion
give-
carries to table for 7 days.
I was gonna give him a year to pay, hey, we get it now, I'm satisfied.
Brian, you were looking for legal advice and Curly's sitting right behind you.
I seen the real lawyer back there shaking his head. So.
This is like kangaroo court.
Whoa, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
And our council meetings continue.
We might need to just move along.
Yeah.
The next agenda item is number 28. The address is 118 Park Street, and John Hardy and Myra Yari wish to speak.
Hello. Give your name and address.
My name is Mari Yari, and the address is 117 North 16th Street, and it's in East Gadsden. And I'm on my father's behalf, because my father is deceased. The address, 118, that's not his property of this address. The one I cut is 126, and I cut that every two weeks when I cut my yard. So I know the city have not cut that yard. So I think that you all got the Harveys vacant lot because they both beside. I have pictures right here to show you that, right here is, this is the Harveys, and I see the Harveys, every time I go up there every 2 weeks, be a nuisance. It's never cut. I think y'all getting Harvey and Hardy property mixed up. Hardy's address is 126 Park Street. And it's beside that greenhouse. Both vacant lots are beside the greenhouse. And I have pictures too on my phone that I went and took pictures of that. And I keep that yard cut every 2 weeks when I cut mine. So I know the city have not cut 126.
Do you know who lives at 118?
It's the Harvey's that. It's a vacant lot.
Oh, it's a vacant.
And I got the picture right here proving. And it's between that house. Hardy's is on the right side and the Harvey's is on the left side. And that's the one that y'all had to cut, not 126. And plus that, I have pictures too.
Oh, we believe you, ma'am.
Okay.
Did she say Harvey?
Harvey.
Harvey.
Hardy.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Okay,
you
but
got
you're
Harvey,
saying, are you saying that Harvey lives at 118?
Yes.
I mean, they own the property
They-
at 118 Park Street. Harvey.
Yes, ma'am.
Harvey.
Yes, ma'am. Cause I keep that address, the one that I cut is 126 Park Street. And that's Mr. Hardy's land, and I keep that cut every 2 weeks, and I know the city did not cut that.
Okay.
If you'll table 7 days, we'll get with them and go out on the property. Get
Okay.
paperwork to me.
Okay,
But I may be cutting something else.
okay, all right.
Okay, what we'll do is we're gonna, table it 7 days. And then you all get with you get with Mr. Harbison and this side, and you all go out on the property with us, okay?
Okay.
All right, I move that we table this for 7 days.
Second.
All right, thank you.
All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for, how many days did you say?
7.
7 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 7 days.
Okay.
Okay, I think that completed all of the ones that people had expressed a desire to us before the meeting started. I suppose at this point, we can just give a general call. If there are any other properties that we have not heard from owners or citizens about at this point, give them an opportunity to come forward. Okay, I don't see any.
We got one
Oh.
individual.
Just to say that one of the properties is next to the 803 Roger Street. I'm at 801. That's directly next door to, the home house. That home has been torn down now. It's no longer there. It's a vacant lot. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, the city owns that now. That 803, because it's been, it's no longer there. The city tore it down.
Oh, okay.
So that help you all out.
That's what it said.
We're actually showing William and Coralie Brown in care of Morris Foster III
Yeah, Ms. Corey is,
as the owners of that one.
Yeah.
she's deceased and.
The city does not actually attain ownership by demolishing the structure. We basically intervene.
Oh, okay.
So it's possible that they do still own, if they don't pay the property taxes, sometimes the property does revert to the state of Alabama, but apparently that had not happened at the point this work was done in preparation.
Talking.
Okay, we started out with 32 items on the agenda, and we've removed a total of 2, and we have tabled 4. Is that right? So I think we have 26 resolutions remaining.
Okay.
Check my math, it's
Yep,
been a
that's
long
right.
day. So I think at this point, we'd be able to deal with the remaining 26 resolutions.
I believe we can, and correct me if I'm wrong, can't we take all of these at the same time?
I would think that you could.
Okay, we can take all of these at the same time. So we have 26, items for liens against property for grass cutting.
I make a
What
motion.
is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve all 26.
Second.
Are there in this discussion? The only discussion, and I know this will be speaking to the people that are here and speaking to the choir, but after these liens, we will have pictures that we can, so, you know, they just can't come up here and say, well, I cut my grass or I didn't. From this point on, these are the ones that we're finishing up. So from this point on, we'll have pictures to show whether you cut or the city cut. So we just wanted, so pass that word along to everybody, that way. But right now, we had to add it up, but this is a lot of money that the city is paying out to have the grass cut, and a lot of people won't cut their grass, won't keep their grass up, those that do. So we just want to make sure that we're fair to everybody.
All right.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
We have a motion and a second to adopt the 26 remaining resolutions. Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt all 26.
Motion to adjourn.
And as we adjourn, and you can say,
Well, I think it's important that what I'm fixing to say, when it rains for a week or so, even though the grass is so high, I've seen the tractors bogged down, city trying to cut, and you can't do that. So, you know, look at that solution all the night.
okay.
You know, and I'm not trying to help folks get out or whatever, cause I cut mine even when I bogged down. That's something to look at for the county.
Yeah.
That's all.